In this video, I will describe how estrogen regulates body fat distribution to help women stay healthy. Body fat is distributed into two main compartments, skin fat and visceral fat. The cells that store fat are called adipocytes. Skin fat is stored by subcutaneous adipocytes right under the skin, and visceral fat is stored by adipocytes that surround inner organs in the abdominal cavity. Fat storage provided our ancestors with an important survival advantage of sustaining metabolism at the time of food shortages. Body fat also sustains us during fasting. But visceral fat specifically has gained a lot of negative attention due to its association with various medical pathologies such as metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular disease, and even several types of cancer. Visceral fat increases with age in both men and women, although men tend to accumulate more visceral fat than women. This is because estrogen allows women to use up their visceral fat and preserve skin fat in response to the lipolytic action of another hormone, epinephrine. In 2004, it was discovered that estrogen lowers lipolysis in skin fat by increasing the number of anti-lipolytic alpha-2A adrenergic receptors, but it doesn't affect lipolysis in visceral adipocytes. Women don't need to be skinny to be healthy, because health benefits come from not having excess visceral fat. Skin fat, on the other hand, is not a problem and may be an advantage, but estrogen's beneficial effects on a healthier pattern of fat distribution and protection from metabolic and cardiovascular disease are not observed in women with hyperglycemia or high blood sugar. A study published in 2009 shows that hyperglycemia alters estrogen effects such that estrogen's protection against cardiovascular disease is gone. There are two receptors that estrogen signals through. They are ER-alpha and ER-beta. The study discovered that under normal glucose, estrogen increases the levels of ER-alpha relative to ER-beta. However, high glucose reverses ER-alpha to beta ratio in endothelial cells, thus predisposing to cardiovascular disease. The good news is that activation of a master regulator gene called AMPK could override the effects of hyperglycemia on estrogen receptors and restore the protective effects of estrogen. Although in the study the activation of AMPK was achieved with a notorious drug which is now banned in sports, the same gene can be activated without any drugs and completely for free, by fasting. But what about after menopause? Are women doomed for visceral fat accumulation and health failure after their ovarian estrogen is gone? Not necessarily. Although the ovarian estrogen is no longer produced after menopause, estrogen production still continues in adipocytes. Therefore, if we want to continue benefiting from the effects of this residual estrogen, we will need to maintain proper estrogen receptor ratios by making sure we don't develop hyperglycemia or by keeping up with the expression of the AMPK gene. Hormone replacement therapy is nowadays being offered to women as if menopause is a disease. Yet our grandmas were perfectly capable of going through menopause and reaching old age without HRT. The secret of my grandma's health and longevity was fasting, which gives me hope that the science will start catching up with what we already know generationally in my family.